Words to know. Ask a question that uses one of the blue words. House. They learned how to build a house for birds. Along. He rode carefully along the bike path. Together. The baby can clap her hands together now. Boy. The boy teaches his sister to read. Father. My father teaches me how to swim. Again. We went out on the ice again to practice. Nothing. At first nothing fit, but he finished the puzzle. Began. She began to take violin lessons. Read and comprehend. Cause and effect. Sometimes one star event causes another event to happen. The cause happens first. The fact is the what happened next. As you read, ask yourself what happens and why. You can use the chart to help you understand events. Cause and effect. Monitor, clarify. If a part doesn't make sense, you can ask a question, reread, and use the pictures for help. Preview the topic. Pets. A pet can be a good friend. A cat can cuddle. A dog can play with a ball. What kinds of pets do you know about? Have you ever had a pet? Pets need care. They need to be fed. Some need to be walked. What pet would you like best? You will read about a boy and his pet dog in Whistle for Willie. Cause and effect. Tell what happens and why. Genre. Realistic fiction is a story that could happen in real life. As you read, look for events that could really happen. Characters who do things real people and animals do. Meet the author and illustrator. Ezra Jack Keats. Ezra Jack Keats wrote and illustrated books for children. When Mr. Keats was a boy, he drew pictures on the kitchen table. His mother was so proud. She kept the art rather than washed the table. Whistle for Willie by Ezra Jack Keats. Essential question. How can you take good care of a pet? Oh, how Peter wished he could whistle. He saw a boy playing with his dog. Whenever the boy whistled, the dog ran straight to him. Analyze the text. Cause and effect. What happens when the boy whistles? Peter tried and tried to whistle, but he couldn't. So instead, he began to turn himself around. Around and around he whirled, faster and faster. When he stopped, everything turned down and up. And up and down and around and around. Peter saw his dog, Willie, coming. Quick as a wink, he did in an empty carton lying on the sidewalk. Analyze the text. Figurative language. What does quick as a wink mean? Why do you think so? Wouldn't it be funny if I whistled? Peter thought. Willie would stop and look all around to see who it was. Peter tried again to whistle, but still he couldn't, so Willie just walked on. Peter got out of the carton and started home. On the way, he took some colored chalks out of his pocket and drew a long, long line right up to his door. He stood there and tried to whistle again. He blew till his cheeks were tired, but nothing happened. He went into his house and put on his father's old hat to make himself feel more grown up. He looked into the mirror to practice whistling. Still no whistle. When his mother saw what he was doing, Peter pretended that he was his father. He said, "I've come home early today, dear." "Is Peter here?" his mother answered. "Why, no, he's outside with Willie." "Well, I'll go out and look for them," said Peter. First he walked along a crack in the sidewalk. Then he tried to run away from his shadow. He jumped off his shadow, but when he landed, they were together again. He came to the corner where the cartoon was, and who should he see but Willie? Peter scrambled under the cartoon. He blew and blew. Suddenly out came a real whistle. Willie stopped and looked around to see who it was. "It's me!" Peter shouted and stood up. Willie raced straight to him. Peter ran home to show his father and mother what he could do. They loved Peter's whistling. So did Willie. Peter's mother asked him and Willie to go on an errand to the grocery store. He whistled all the way there, and he whistled all the way home. Comprehension: how to analyze the text. Use these pages to learn about cause and effect and figurative language. Then read Whistle for Willie again. Cause and effect. In Whistle for Willie, story events cause other events to happen. The cause is the reason why something else happens. The fact is what happens next. In the story, Peter keeps trying to whistle. This is the cause. What happens because he tries to whistle? Use a chart like this to show why important events happen. Figurative language. Authors often use words in interesting ways to help you picture what is happening. The story says that Peter scrambles under the cartoon when he sees Willie. These words help you know how Peter moves. He does not go under the cartoon slowly. He goes under very quickly. What other words does the author use in interesting ways? Your turn. Return to the essential question. Turn and talk. How can you take good care of a pet? How does Peter take care of Willie? Use text evidence to help you explain. Talk about what you know about taking care of a pet. Tell your ideas clearly. Classroom conversation. Talk about these questions with your class. 1. What lesson can you learn from Peter? 2. Why does Peter want to learn to whistle? 3. Peter learns how to whistle. What have you learned how to do because you kept trying? Write about reading. Response: what would Willie say if he could talk? What would he say happened? Write sentences that tell the story the way Willie would tell it. Writing tip: Use words like first, next, then, and finally to tell when things happen. Genre. Poetry uses words to describe pictures and feelings. Listen for interesting words in each poem. Clap along with the rhythm or beat. Words rhyme if they have the same ending sound. Which poems use the words that rhyme? Pet poems. This poem began as a folk song. Read it along with your class, then sing it together. Bingo. There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh. Cabalito blanco, reblanco. Cabalito blanco, reblanco, sácame daqui, leva-me hasta o puerto donde yo nací. Little white horse white as snow, take me where I long to go. Take me to the port by the sea, where I was born and long to be. What kind of pet would you like to have? Would you like a furry pet or a pet with scales? Pet snake. No trace of fuzz, no bit of fur, no growling bark or gentle purr, no cozy cuddle, no sloppy kiss. All he really does is hiss. By Rebecca K. Dutlish. Write about a pet. Write a poem about a pet. Use words with the same beginning sounds. Use some rhyming words too. Compare texts. Text to text. Compare pets. How is Willie different from the pet snake in the poem? Write words that tell what Willie looks like and what he can do. Draw a picture. Text to self. Describe a pet. Find words in the poems that tell what the pets look like. Use some of these words and your own words to describe a pet you like. Text to world. Research pets. Work with classmates. Use books and other sources to find out how to take care of a pet. Write steps. Grammar. Possessive pronouns. Some pronouns show that something belongs to someone. This kind of pronoun can come before a noun or at the end of a sentence. This is my dog. This dog is mine. I am using your chalk. The chalk is yours. That is his shadow. That shadow is his. I am wearing her hat. This hat is hers. Try this. Write the correct pronoun. To finish each sentence, use another sheet of paper. 1. I have a dog. Little Cleo is mine, mine's. This is her dish. The dish is his, hers. I whistle. Cleo hears mine, mine whistle. She follows me into yours house. Cleo thinks your toys are hers. Grammar in writing. When you proofread your writing, be sure you have used pronouns correctly. Narrative writing. Organization. When you write sentences for a story summary, tell the important events in the order they happened. Abby wrote a summary of Whistle for Willie. Later, she moved one sentence. Revised draft. Peter kept trying to whistle. He went into his house. He practiced in the mirror. Writing traits checklist. Organization. Did I tell the events in order? Do I need to add more important details? Did I use the correct pronouns? Look for events in the correct order and Abby's final copy. Then revise your own writing. Use the checklist. Final copy. Whistle for Willie. Peter kept trying to whistle. Then he went into his house. He practiced in the mirror. When Peter's mom saw him, he pretended to be his dad. Then Peter went outside. He saw Willie, so he did under the curtain. Finally, Peter whistled and Willie ran to him. Peter was so happy.